Hey KJ, welcome back to the podcast, man. How you doing today?
I'm good. It's good to be here, George.
Man,
Uh, yeah.
it has been a minute. You were here as my very first guest on this show 3+ years ago, man. I can't believe it's been that long.
Wow. It's been that long. Um, yeah, you look great, and there's awesome stuff behind you, all those arrowheads and things.
Yes, yes. These are all surface finds from the family ranches down in Texas. Invite's still open. And yeah, all sorts of artifacts, trinkets, a bunch of books and things. We even got the old Dead PA CD insert there from back in the day when I'd be playing music. I mean, it's 15 years ago when I played my last gig with them, and that was with you at a concert here at the May Day Festival or something like that here in Houston, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Ah, amazing. I'm excited to share that I got a half cow, and it's changed my life. So yeah, we were having dinner with a friend. And he was talking about the best steak he's ever had and the best ground beef, and he got this half cow up in like Wyoming area, a Black Angus, small ranch. And I'm like, yeah, I was really interested. And he's like, yeah, I'm about to go in on a full cow. You want to go in with me? I'm like, that sounds something like I want to do, definitely. And so I got a big, tall freezer and filled that bad boy up with this amazing meat. And then I got a smoker out back, and we've been smoking brisket, smoked burgers, and the beef ribs are like my favorite. Holy cow, it's changed my life. So it's cool that you're a hunter and stuff. And I was pretty against hunting when I was young. I was like a young hippie, and what I realized, at least listening to some hunters, is that sometimes they're more about preserving nature than someone who's not hunting. Because it seems like you're kind of controlling the environment. And yeah, so it's pretty cool that you do a little bit of that and live in Texas. Yeah, I gotta come. You have a ranch down there, right?
Yeah, I've got two family ranches. One I own and operate in Central Texas with my wife, and then one in South Texas, been in my family for 5 generations. So the
Wow.
smokers are always ready to go. We definitely do a lot. And, to your point too, yes, I think it's kind of a paradox for some, but a lot of the outdoor people I know are some of the most avid conservationists out there. And, every single time someone buys any kind of hunted, fishing related item, there's a tax that goes back, Pittman Robertson tax, that actually puts back more money into state parks, national parks, wildlife, as far as all these things that help preserve that way of life. So it's, while some people may, kind of look at hunters and, oh, they're bad, like they're actually the ones who are helping to keep wild spaces wild in
Yeah.
just such an amazing way. But yes, no, that's something that I was taught, use every bit of the animal. Uh, you know,
Yeah.
you're not killing to kill. You kill it, you cook it, you clean it, you eat it, you respect it. And that's been with me ever since I was a little kid. But I'm excited to hear, that you're out there using your smoker and, what kind of smoker you got? Is it all offset? You got pellet grill? What is it?
It's the 4 Series pellet smoker. It's changed my life, to be honest. Every time we eat the meat, like we have this feeling that we're putting something good, fresh, no antibiotics and steroids and stuff into our bodies. And it really does. Because, like, it's at the every time I ate McDonald's when I was a kid, once those movies came out of Fat, Sick, and Dead, Almost Dead or something like
Yep.
that. And I saw another one about
Super size
animal
me and
cruelty. Yeah.
yeah.
I was like, ooh, gross. Like, and I felt it. And then this has just been a life-changing event. Plus, I'm a big meat eater too, because I love protein. I work out tons. I try to keep the protein content as high as possible.
Well, I mean, you're using a ton of energy when you're on stage, and we'll kind of dive into that too. And I was just thinking about this. You're about to, and this will be dropping on the 22nd, so it's going to be Pendulum's first album in 15 years, which was 15 years ago when you and I were kind of on the circuit there. And I remember kind of when we were chatting, we were at Dallas. I had come to see you. I was filming one of your sets, and you were talking about this band that you were about to be performing with. You couldn't mention who it was. And then I think in the weeks that came, you're like, I'm going to be drumming with Pendulum. And I know you've jammed with all sorts of amazing musicians, but that was a huge amount of news to see that happening. Here we are 15 years later, first album in 15 years. Why don't you tell me a little bit about what's going on with that, and how that process has been with the recording? And I know you guys are kicking off a tour soon, so just catch me up. I know you had some gigs recently. Yeah, let's just hear what's going on in the KJ Sawka and Pendulum world right now.
So we just dropped a collaboration with Wargasm called Cannibal, and we just dropped a collaboration with Owl Nation called Guiding Lights. And you'll hear it on Guiding Lights. Guiding Lights has all this like almost metal drumming, metal fills, tom runs, and some double bass kicks and stuff that we all love. And Rob and Gareth are the kind of the Rob is like the main guy of Pendulum. It's his baby pretty much. He will spend hundreds of hours in the studio after we've done all our parts, producing it up. He's pretty known as one of the best producers in the EDM space, if not in the world. He's done stuff with Rihanna and all kinds of people. Ghost produced for tons of people, and once he gets in there, like it's absolute magic. But we had the opportunity to record in this big metal studio where Bring Me the Horizon, has recorded, and a bunch of other metal bands, and it was a pretty big departure from what we normally do. But Immersion, right when I started, we dropped Immersion, and that was a really big departure as well. Still keeping the rock, but going a little bit deeper into the metal, and then going back to some of the roots of some of the jungle stuff too. So it's almost like a crossover of metal, accessible songwriting mixed with jungle. And it's exactly my cup of tea. That's the exact stuff that I love.
Well, I mean, that was kind of how they ended up, discovering you. You had all these videos out. You were the human jungle drum machine. I mean, there was so many incredible, snippets that were out there. It's kind of going viral back in the day, and
Yeah.
that definitely was your side of things. And I want to take a quick departure before we get back to the Pendulum, talking about some tour dates and stuff, and kind of talk about your origin of your drumming and such, and some of the things that you're producing. Talk to me a little bit about what's going on with that. Are you working on your own tracks these days? You got Impossible Records. Is that what you got kicking there? Catch me up a little bit, because it's been a minute, and I want to hear what you got going on.
Yeah, so we started Impossible Records about 2014 and really kicked things off 26 or 2015, 2016, 2017. Had multiple number ones on Beatport, number one albums, and just talking to an artist, Phenom, who won the last remix contest that I did last year. And he has this insane story about fleeing the Ukraine with bombs dropping on him, trying to get his family and his baby out of there. Spent 5 days backpacking in the woods, chased by a bear and chased by government drones. He was going to get arrested either way, either shot and killed by enemy or taken by his own government and probably killed or made to fight and probably killed. Insane story. All the while, he's opening up his laptop, doing music because that's what he does, and building his Patreon page, building his YouTube page, solely making his income from music. And had him on the group session that we do in my mentorship, and everyone was just like eyes glued to the screen as he's sharing this story. And his releases back in 2015 on Impossible Records were career life changing for him. And I had no idea. And it was just like another release. We're releasing, and for a lot of people, it's just another release. Doesn't necessarily move the needle that much. Uh, it's just part of the journey and part of the flow. For him, it was absolutely life changing. Then, just a quick more on that. He hit me up. He's like, "Hey KJ, we hit a number one. This is amazing. Got top 10 on overall Beatport, which is really big. It was especially really big in 2015. It still is really amazing to have that." And he's like, "Hey, is there any income from the music?" And I'm like, "Let me check." And I opened up the distribution and I said, "We've made $100 and we've put $500 into the campaign with artwork and everything. So you're 400 in the negative." And it broke him like completely. He stopped doing music for a couple of years. He's like, "Wow." He's like, "This is nuts. I get a number one record and my life changes, but there's no money." And a lot of artists are trying to deal with this. And it was right when Spotify started. We were slow to start in Spotify. That's kind of one of the things. Streaming services was one of the nails in the coffin for Impossible Records. We didn't fully close. I kept on releasing my own music in sample packs and everything. But to try to support other artists, that was just rough. I was like, I don't know if there's any upside, financial upside, but some of the other upsides are dwindling as well, like the morale of artists. Um, so that was rough, but we've been navigating the waters of streaming services, and it's very bittersweet. So many artists are like, F you, Spotify, and rightfully so. However, it's the dance with the devil. It's like the dance with a major label. Um, they're not going away. And most people on earth go to Spotify to look for new music. And if you're not on there, you're shooting yourself in the foot. It's going to be that much harder. Now, if you're Snoop Dogg and you want to pull off and you make a public announcement, I mean, he's Snoop Dogg. He is on Mars and everyone else is on Earth in the sense that I tell my artists, I'm like, you cannot compare your career with Snoop Dogg's. Like, he's the top dog, rightfully so. He's totally badass. He's an actor. He can do anything. And yes, he can create a movement. And I hats off to him for doing that, to try to create a movement. But it does take a lot more to, I don't know. I don't know how to, I can't even comprehend what the solution would be, um, except just keep on driving forward.
Well, you mentioned that too, working with your artists. There are still a lot of things you're doing with helping artists, and you still have your mentorship, your courses. Why don't you talk a little bit about what you got that and where you can, what you can offer to people from your, decades of experience in the scene and producing and touring. You have a lot to offer all around, and I'd love for you to kind of, plug that if you would.
Yeah, so Impossible Records was helping artists to get out there, to get their records out there, and we were doing kind of everything for them. We would I would help them with artist um, relations and helping them fix their song and giving them tons of technical guidance and things. Hey, let's change this around, and tutoring them a bit, mentoring them, all for free, like because I was excited about their song, but it needed just a little bit of tweaking, and they were happy to do it. And then many artists just sent me tunes, and it was perfectly done. So I was putting resources, time, energy, and money into these artists, and I loved it. But there was really no end in sight of the resources, and the resources were only so much. I'm only one person. My wife and I were both doing Impossible Records. We had a label manager at one time. That was it, though. And we had a art designer. Everything was out of pocket, and yeah, I think the most we've paid, well, I've paid my collaborator thousands of dollars because it's KJ Sawka tunes, and we've had some millions of streams and stuff like that. But the rest of the catalog, it's, nothing quite like that. However, just like Phenom, it's really made a massive impact on so many artists' careers. Um, and so then I started the mentorship, and then I kind of flipped the financial um, deal. Instead of giving them all this stuff and paying for everything, people pay me now as the mentor inside the mentorship with courses, one-on-one sessions, and things. So now they have some skin in the game. And for some people, it's not very much. For other people, it's a lot. There's a big sliding scale, and there's a big sliding scale of what I can offer an artist. I used to call them students. They are all artists now. They're all grown adults, and you know, looking to excel their careers. Some people just want to get better at making music. Some people want to finish music. But a lot of the people are like, I just want to make a little bit of money from music. And if I can't do that, I feel like my life is not complete. And that's pretty big because once you get that music bug, that artist bug, it's there forever.
For sure.
Yeah. So that's what I do. I've built up several hundred students in my mentorship. We've got a school program. It's called Elevate Your Craft. So if you go to it's SKOOL, we'll put that in the show notes.
Oh yeah.
And also if you just go to kjsaka.com and hover over lessons, you'll see everything there as well. And I love helping people. So many people come to me with drum questions, drum module questions, electronic drum questions. How do you do it? How are you in Pendulum and release your own music and teach people? Get a lot of those questions, and I've kind of filtered all of that into the mentorship. There's loads of free resources there too for people who can't afford to be in a paid membership, and that's totally fine. Uh, I'm just happy to try to help people to see them elevate. Hence the name, Elevate Your Craft, any way, shape, or form. Yeah.
Well, it's an amazing thing you're doing, man. And when people get the kind of experience they can give back and be able to have that one-on-one time with you to help them kind of move that needle forward, it's important. And you kind of just mentioned is the idea of like your drum module and the setup. And I was kind of curious, it's every few years I'll see some additions and some different technology come into play and what you got, in your kit. I mean, I was kind of curious, what is it that you are having as far as your live gig right now? What do you have using? I mean, I know that you got a gig. This will air the 22nd. You'll have a show that night at Woodkey Festival. Curious what you're bringing there. And then also, what are you doing with your live pendulum sets? What does that look like as far as your setup?
Nice. So, as far as my KJ Sawka solo sets, I do a couple handfuls of those sets a year. Most of the dates I have to actually deny because we have so much pendulum touring happening. And I'm always like, oh, poor me, like I have to choose a bigger show, and it's weird because I really want to pursue my KJ career, but I am in an amazing collaboration with Pendulum, which I love, and it's kind of like Pendulum and Knife Party too. Like they love doing Knife Party stuff, and so there's only so much time to do things. But anyways, most of the KJ gigs, my setup is kind of like a DJ setup, but I have my drum pad. It's the Roland SPD SX Pro. I've done a bunch of different um, musical setups from a laptop with a keyboard, laptop with a drum machine. But now everything is inside the SPDSX Pro. No laptop, no I/O device underneath, gaff taped to a laptop, and it's shaking on stage. And all that stuff was getting harder and harder to put on stage too because they kept on making the DJ table smaller and smaller just to fit the CDJs. Like that's it. There's no extra room. And so this SPDSX Pro drum pad is almost the exact same size as one CDJ. So we just pull a CDJ out. I put my drum pad right there. I plug into the DJ mixer. I'm off to the races. I got all my songs in there, all stemmed out. I can mute different parts. I can have just the vocals playing, and I can do amen breaks and all kinds of improv stuff. I don't do much live looping anymore. I used to do a ton of live looping with Ableton, using a bunch of Max for Live stuff. It was very, very cool. It was very, very cool for me, but the audience, they really can't see it. 99% of people don't know or care what I'm doing. And the the drum pad is quite convenient. I don't have no check bags anymore, and I can still deliver a great performance with my sticks in my hands. I was trying to do just DJ gigs too, and I would show up with no sticks, and people were like, "Where is the drumsticks, dude?" So that was short-lived. But I still have my USB stick that I put in there in case my drum pad takes a poop or something like that on stage. Plus, it's really fun to do the DJ style stuff because it is a DJ setting. People do expect the DJ performance. So, tweaking the DJ effects and just being behind the table and doing the DJ hands, yeah. And then I have some collaborations, have some singers come up with me at Woodkey. I'm going to have All Fires come up with me. He's my biggest collaborator right now. He's my collaborator on my most streamed tunes on Spotify. We love working together. And he makes kind of like indie rock stuff. He's an incredible songwriter. And I think we met during COVID. He just hit me up on Facebook. He also submitted some music to Impossible Records a while back, or back in 2016 or something like that. Yeah, we've been producing together for quite some time.
Well, you've had a lot of collaborations too. I know you did some stuff with Blake Lewis, you guys are old friends. I mean,
Yeah.
dating back to the American Idol days when he was on there too. And I was curious as far as that. Are y'all planning on doing any other work together? Is that kind of a one and done? What does that look like?
Blake and I have a group called The Private Language, and we're signed to Black Hole Records, and we have, I think, about 5 or 6 more tunes to put out on Black Hole. Black Hole is an amazing record label. I think Tiesto started it. One of their largest artists over the years has been BT, who puts out almost everything on Black Hole. Arnie is the main owner. We love that guy. And yeah, it's totally different. It's almost tropical house, pop, indie pop electronic music. We're going a little bit more into the drum and bass territory because we were like, what are we doing? We love drum and bass, and we love a little bit harder music mixed with accessible vocal music. Blake loves pop music, and hence being on American Idol. So yeah, we try to get together several times a month to try to finish that project. A lot of different projects though, and as a mentor, I tell the artists it's not the best idea to have multiple projects if you want to see success in a project. It's just twice as hard. It's like setting up one example. One of my mentors told me it's like setting up if you're trying to climb a tree and it takes a 16-foot ladder. You are better off with one 16-foot ladder as opposed to 16 one-foot ladders. How are you supposed to climb that tree with just a 1-foot ladder? And that definitely rings true. However, I am a testament to being successful with multiple projects, but it is a juggling act.
Yeah, well, you've juggled it well, but there's been so many different bands you've played with and different projects and your own and the record label. Another one that comes to mind too is Destroyed. I was curious, is there going to be any more Destroy? I have yet to see you guys on tour. When y'all did that, the shows looked amazing. I'll have to send some pictures and videos along for everyone so they can see what the entire setup was because it was incredible. But I was curious as far as that. Is there any Destroyed in the future?
My answer to that is Destroyed will never die.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. That's pretty much it, really. Jeff and I have had a long relationship. Same with Sean and I. So it's Sean Downlink, Jeff Excision, and I are the crazy EDM robot aliens. You know, so a lot of young people who go to Lost Lands and go to Base Canyon and who are big Excision fans sometimes don't even know who Destroyed is because that was almost 10 years ago, if not
Yep.
10 years ago. Yeah. And so some of these kids are 21 that they were 11 years old. And I'm 47 years old now, and I'm really sinking my teeth into music more than ever, but also into life and not just kind of running away doing music, but like the music and the touring and the busy schedule is much more integrated with my whole life, um, which is, I guess, more balanced. And that's what I've been trying to teach in the mentorship as well.
Well, let's talk about that because I know that you just guys got off a string of dates, and I know that there was the single ticket record. Was it like 40,000 people that were at that show? I mean, it was
In Milton Keynes Bowl in the UK, in Milton Keynes, kind of a younger city, only 100 years old or so for England, because every city is freaking ancient. There's castles
sure.
everywhere. And most of the cities kind of have from various castles, there's like 6 or 7 roads that go out in a circle. And it's not a grid system at all. And a lot of times in London, the roads kind of follow the Thames River and it's super windy. It's really cool and it's very European. And America is very grid. And same with Milton Keynes. It's a grid system. So when we showed up, I was like, wow, this kind of reminds me of America. And the guys from England, they're like, I know it sucks. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. I'm like, I can see why you don't like it. But they have this gigantic natural bowl and now it's called Milton Keynes. They have I think it's a permanent stage there and it holds about 40,000 people and we sold it out and that is bigger than the O2 Arena, which was 28,000 or something like that. I think Milton Keynes maybe 35,000 or something like that. I can't remember the actual number, but it was our biggest show ever, and it was considered the biggest hard ticket show that we've ever done.
Well, and I know you guys have played in festivals where there's more people there in attendance, but yes, this was the single ticket, and that, congrats. And what I was going to kind of move with that idea is that, you talk about this work-life balance. And when you guys are touring and you're going to all these amazing cities, I mean, in October, you guys have a full-on tour all around Europe and beyond. And I was kind of curious when you talk about that balance, what is that balance for you? Are you and your wife getting out there and, doing your own set of travel, or is it just are those moments so much work oriented and interviews and different things and kind of sound check and getting around, or are you guys building in some time to also visit these areas and kind of have the taste of cultures of these areas? I was kind of curious what that was like for you. When you mentioned that balance, that came to mind.
Lately, it's full on work.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much playtime. Perry and I, our guitar player, will venture out together. We're like, it's funny, there's a show that aired for years in the UK called the Perry and Kevin Show or the Kevin and Perry Show. And it's the Kevin and Perry Show. We're always going out hand in hand. Like in Greece, we saw a bunch of old shit. We call it old shit. We're like, let's go see some old shit. And castle ruins and all kinds of stuff. And so we get to like on show day, sometimes we don't hit the lobby call until like 8 p.m., 9 p.m. or something like that. We got all day to kind of prep for the show, and we'll do a nice lunchtime walk, see some stuff. But that's kind of about it. Uh, it's mostly we fly in, fly out, or this time it's going to be the bus, and so it's going to be a big bus run. And yeah, no wives or girlfriends there because it's busy, busy. The crew wakes up, spends most of the day setting up the whole stage, massive stages, and we prep. And on the beginning and ends of tours, especially like Australia and Asia and things, sometimes we'll have family fly in, especially Rob and Gaz because they have family in Australia, so they'll stay a while there sometimes. And but I usually fly right back. But we are going to change that, and that is our goal as far as a family and get more out there. Yeah, work-life balance is more and more a thing that is just more and more important. Everything is more meaningful. Everything is more emotional. The stuff from childhood, it pokes its head up. It seems like with everybody as we get older, we're like, God, why do I feel that way about that one certain thing? And then it was something when we were born or really, really young that is causing these emotions to come up and stuff. And yeah, that's a real thing. Learning about that. And a lot of people in the mentorship are kind of dealing with that too. The struggles of confidence in their art, in their music, in themselves. Why aren't they doing what they want to do? How come they're not on stage? Um, those are tough questions. And so, it's easy to say, well, it's because of this and it's because of that. So I have some like mentors who are really hard as nails. And you're like, it's a light switch. You got to either turn it on or turn it off. Like, you can't just like, say I don't feel like it today. You got to do it. And there's times for that, for sure. If you work for somebody else and you can't do your job, you're going to get fired. That's it. However, with music, it is a little bit different. I try to teach people how to kind of, if you want to make money from it, if you want it to be a career, you do have to kind of look at it like a job. Um, but one of my latest blogs was quote unquote, no, I didn't sign up for this, meaning that a lot of artists, they had no idea that making money from their art would require them to wear every hat of a business, start a business, run a business, promote a business, market a business, create the product. Who else is going to do it? You know? Uh, but some people are just like, it baffles my whole brain just to think about that. Um, and it is baffling, yeah.
Well, I know that well. I had a team of artists. I used to have a company called Texas Collective where I would do the management for artists because a lot of the artists that I knew were great artists and it ended there. They weren't great marketers. They didn't know how to speak to people. They didn't know how to get their stuff out. They didn't know how to get things to be able to be sold, whether it was, hard copy art in the walls or whether it was music. They didn't know how to get that to that next stage. And that's something that I think a lot of artists, they don't have that, right? And unless you've worked on those things and you put those tools in the toolbox, that isn't something that comes naturally to everybody. And that's when you talk about those kinds of things too, it is true. A lot of those artists have no idea how many hats they have to wear. And I mean, we see so many starving artists that are out there, or people who sometimes give it up because a lack of success, where it may just be those tools that they need to be able to develop. And I think that's important that you're talking about with your mentorship of bringing that out and teaching them maybe how to go about and find those and turn them into strengths that they can use.
Yeah. 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 A really big one in the mentorship is growing their social media. Huge hot topic constantly. And it can be very discouraging. And so many people kind of miss the core concept, which is social media. There's two different buckets. You're a consumer or you're a creator on social media. And if you're a creator, that means you have something to share with everybody, just like being on stage. and a lot of people kind of miss that core concept. It's really hard for them to even conceptualize that uh, they haven't been on stage. And once you're on stage, it's like, okay, everybody's looking at you. What are you gonna do? You know, that's kind of like a creator with social media. But social media is nuts. We're seeing people who don't necessarily have that something to, as far as performance, like on stage, they've just figured out the algorithm, and maybe they're just freaking cutting fish. And it would not be very exciting at all on stage, but it's really exciting to watch for some reason on that platform, and that works for them. And that's really awesome, I think, actually, when people find their niches and can create a really big buzz around it. I mean, that's not much different than being an artist, really.
Yeah, it is its own medium of art, and that's something
Yeah.
that it makes them happy. And a lot of those times, you see people making a living doing that when they get good and successful at it, which is, hats off to them, right?
One of my biggest YouTube shorts, besides a bunch of drumming ones, is me cutting into the brisket. And I'm like, okay, my second ever brisket, 13-hour cook, and it has like, I don't know, 100,000 views or something like that. And it's nothing special. And but people really like to look at that stuff, you know? The comments are like, my mouth is watering. And then some of the comments are like, you ruined it with the cut. And it's like so funny. Yeah. It did taste good. And it did flop over my finger.
There's so many other things that I kind of wanted to get to. I know we've kind of got some time constraints there. Why don't you kind of tell us a little bit about what's happening with the upcoming tour and where all you guys are going to be going, and what does this look like? Is there anything that you guys are doing a little bit different for this? Are you bringing out some of those collaborators for some of these live shows? I mean, you almost the entire month of October is booked, and then
Yeah.
maybe you can answer the question of when the hell are you coming to Texas with Pendulum? Because that's another question I have. But yeah, let's talk about the tour first. What's happening in October?
All right. So, yeah, we do Helsinki, Stockholm, Copenhagen, Prague, all over Europe, and then we end last week with a UK run. And it's crazy about the UK because it's such a small country. It's literally Texas is bigger than the entire country of the UK, but we can play arenas in places that are only like 2.5 hours away from each other, full arenas and then multiple, like thousands of people drive to almost all of the dates too. And it's really amazing to have this fan base that is so locked in with us. Like maybe our social media is not growing like crazy, but our hardcore fans have been there with us, and that is really, really something. You can have millions of streams and millions of followers on Instagram. Do you have the fans that can sell out arenas? Um, and we've been able to build that over like the last 20 years. And we count our lucky stars every day for that, taking life less for granted, really. Every time we get another gig and another tour, I'm like, this is amazing. This is amazing because we're getting up there. We're all in our 40s now. Um, and we didn't, I, I'm gonna die on stage. That's a fact. I'm gonna play drums and be producing music. People are asked, "What are you gonna do in your later years?" I'm like, "This is it. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna adventure off into life a lot more as well, and you just have the freezer stocked with game and amazing farm animals. Treat animals with even more respect. My goal is to try to treat humans with more respect. But the concept is nurturing our fan base. And yeah, so there's going to be a bunch of fun stuff for the fans, a bunch of really cool social media things along the way that we're doing. And I As far as special guests, there our collaborators do a lot of touring as well. So I'm not sure exactly what dates we're going to have collaborators with us, but so far we have a big package, a big live show package that is multimedia, crazy videos around us, really cool set. We'll be rehearsing that set late September, early October for that. Then we hit the tour bus. Um, yeah, so it's going to be, all I can say is it's going to be the best tour that we've ever done.
Hey, KJ, I had another question. That's one about AI and music and just kind of that technological change in this realm. I mean, we've seen so many different types of precursors of change going from vinyl to cassette to CD to mini disc, and like streaming and then all the different things. And now you got AI where some people can kind of hit a button and create a song, just from a prompt. What are you seeing and are you utilizing any of this AI technology? What does that look like for you? And, talk about that landscape, if you will, please.
With the evolution, uh, and the technological advances with AI and everything, the landscape of music is changing rapidly. Copywriting is down the tube because of ChatGPT, and songwriting now is on the brink of almost extinction in a sense because of websites that can literally write a song with a prompt and can and then a layman, someone who doesn't know anything about music, can write a song and copyright it as their own work. And songwriters have been trying to make the best songs possible for their entire lives. So it's absolutely soul crushing to many people. However, it's not going away. And maybe some of these AI companies might shift or get taken down or have a really big dent in their journey because of major copyright lawsuits, which all that stuff is happening. I'm following all of it. It's the wild, wild west right now. But it's always kind of been that with technology. And I kind of share that, in the 80s and 90s, when pure analog started to switch to digital, the invention of the ADAT, um, from vinyl to cassette to CD, that was huge. Mini disc was a little thing for a while. And then streaming, oh, people thought it was the end of music. Napster, it is just another chapter, and it's a big one, because the, com- the computer can write a full song, which is super freaking nuts. This is way beyond just a Napster stealing your song type thing, or someone stealing, not paying for a song. This is way bigger. But what are you gonna do though? That's like we have to move forward. And so I for myself, I'm more head down into my music. So I'm putting out more music. I'm writing more music as KJ Sawka. I'm collaborating more. I'm actually expanding into, I have this country meets drum and bass thing that I'm working on that is fire. I'm so freaking excited. I got multiple songs, and because I recently got into country during COVID, we spent some time in like this A-frame house in kind of southern Oregon on our way up to Washington from Las Vegas. No internet, no cell reception or anything, just some country CDs and a local country radio station. And that environment, there was no running water either. We had to go out with these buckets of water, bring it in, boil the water, put water down the back of the toilet to flush the toilet. I loved it. I thought it was so cool. I was cooking up dinner, um, and the dogs loved it. And then we turned on. My wife has loved country forever, but she didn't really play a whole lot of country because I despised country for so long. I'm like, drum and bass, rock. And she turned on that country music, and those lyrics sunk in. I'm like, I get it. Because I'm like, why would you talk like so much on the nose? Like you're actually talking about your Ford truck and your cowboy boots. Like it's so on the nose. There's no like thought-provoking lyrics. It's just like that is what it is. But I get it now, and I think it's freaking awesome. And especially the country mixed with trap, like a trap beat. So I got a big country trap playlist started that is hot freaking stuff. And so that has been a big inspiration in my songwriting because let's face it, they're just like love songs. And they're like the greatest songs and they hit your soul. And so I guess that's what it is a little bit of soul searching and a little bit of like whatever happens happens and wars are happening. There's nothing that I can freaking do except make music because that's kind of why people make music is they're like, oh my God, the news is insane. I'm gonna go be creative and do something because I cannot control all that crazy stuff that's happening in the world. I can be a good person, but you know, that's it. And that's why a lot of people I think get into music because it's an escape from reality. And so I am utilizing the tools, AI tools and things, and I think almost everybody's, has dabbled at least into Chat GPT and everything. We should. I think everyone should. We should not neglect that form of technology because I tried to not do streaming for a while and it didn't do any good trying to boycott streaming, especially as a record label. Um, and so, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm going back to my roots, more drum and bass, but mixed with love songs and accessible songs. That's what I've always loved. And taking advantage of the new tools that we have. I'm doing a remix contest right now, actually, of my new song "Crazy," and we are in partnership with an AI company called um, ACE Studio, and they've partnered up with about 30 singers, and it's a AI singer app inside your DAW. So it's ethical, and you can use it and publish it like other apps that's not inside a music DAW. You can't really publish it. It's not okay. But this one you can. You can create your own AI voice, which is really cool. Yeah. So hunker down and make music is my advice for all the artists out there.
And go check out the A-frame, smoke some meats, listen to some country.
Dude, I can't wait to get down to Texas, George.
Dude, you need to come out here and do some ranch time. One of them, we got Central Texas. You can fly into Austin. The other one's out the beaten path a little bit, but that just gives you time to get in the truck, the Ford, and listen to some country music on the way down there. But I'll tell you, when we hit the ranch down there, there's only one type of music that normally gets played, and that's Tejano. There's something about being out near the Mexican border, checking out some good Tejano music, and it just kind of fuels you, man. It's upbeat. My buddy started doing that. As soon as you get to the ranch, you turn on the Tejano, and it was funny because like whenever we have a power outage, then if someone like goes off into town or the family or whatever, they come back to the house. Then it's like for whatever it resets to that Tejano station. It's blaring, so you'll know if the power went out when the Tejano is kicking. But it's always a good time. So
That is wicked.
who knows? Tejano drum and bass. Maybe there's a collaboration for us yet that we'll swing back on.
I'm gonna make a marg and crank up some Tejana tonight for sure.
That's great. It pairs well with smoked meats as well. KJ, you're gonna love it.
Incredible. That's what I'm gonna do. That's
Good
what I'm
deal.
gonna
Good deal. Well, hey, is there, as far as folks who want to follow your journey, obviously, you got the Pendulum Tour coming up. We talked about that. I'll have some, links down below. People who want to go and see those live shows. You got some live shows coming up too. And I know you kind of have a calendar of events on your website. Why don't you let people know your website and your socials and how people can follow your journey there?
Thanks, George. It's been an absolute pleasure to be on this show with you. And for anyone who wants to follow my journey, you can just go to kjsawka.com. I'm really easy to get a hold of too. pretty much all my social media is KJ Sawka. And yeah, you can message me, you can DM me. I'm I'm the talkative one in the band.
I'm glad, man. Well, it's listen, again, it's you kind of started this journey, man. Episode 2 of the Son of a Blitz podcast. It was you. We kind of were the ones that kind of kicked this whole thing off. And it's fun to come back and circle back to that and check in with you. And looking forward to hosting you with some Tejano and barbecue down here in Texas, man. Get on down.
I'm coming. I'm gonna buy a ticket right now.
Awesome. Awesome. I'll send you some dates. Cool, man. Well, hey, you take care. I appreciate it. And I hope you have a phenomenal tour. Good luck on the gig here on Friday. And yeah, man, we'll be in touch.
All right, George.
All right. Take care, bud.
Bye.